I've been working on a project. It's called a 10-stitch blanket. There's several different 10-stitch projects on Ravelry. This one is a blanket that works into a circle. I'll give the links to the pattern below in the description. But I thought since I've been working on this, I might just do a short, quick video on how I work the 10 stitches. The secret to the pattern, once you get the pattern off of Ravelry, is to just remember which lane you're in here, which column you're working on. When you first start out, you'll do a series of short rows and you'll make a circle. Then eventually you'll start to branch out into these lanes, I call them. So depending on which lane you're in, it will indicate how many long rows you work in between the short rows. So in lane 1, you'll do 1 long row, 1 short row. Here you'll do 2 long rows, 1 short row, 3 long rows, 1 short row. It just keeps getting bigger every time you make a complete loop. So I'm ready where I'm at on my blanket to go ahead and work a short row. So I thought I'd show you how I do it. There's several different techniques you can do, but this is how I found that works for me. This is my marker to let me know when I've worked all the way around, and I'm on round 6. So when I hit this thing again, I'll be on round 7. So right now, round 6, I will do 6 long rows, 1 short row. So let me show you how I do my short row. I always slip my first stitch. I slip it as if to purl, and then I bring my yarn to the back. And by doing that, that leaves a very nice slipped stitch edge that makes it easy to use in the following column or row. Not really a row, but in the following lane. Here is the lane below, and you can see the slipped stitch edge. So it's easy for me to connect my new lane to my old lane, if that makes sense. So let me work a short row. So I slip the first stitch, then I knit to the 8th stitch. So I'm basically knitting 7, but I'll have a total of 8 stitches here on my needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I bring the yarn forward. I slip stitch 9 over. I bring the yarn back. Then I slip stitch 9 back over. Then I turn my work. I pull it snug. Then I bring my yarn to the back, and I knit back to the beginning of the row. So I knit 8. So I just worked a short row, turn it back around. Now I'm ready to work 6 ridges of long rows. Each one of these ridges is down and back. So I want to work 6 down and back rows. So let me show you. I'll do 1 down and back row. I slip the first stitch as if to purl, bring my yarn to the back. I'm going to knit the first 9 stitches. I'm going to slip stitch 10. I'm going to reach into the very next row of my old lane, so I go right in between where the slipped stitch is. See if I can show this to you any better. right there. So I actually have 2 yarns that I'm going under, and I'm going to draw a stitch through. Then I'm going to take stitch 10 and pull it over like a bind off. So I've just connected this column of stitches to this column of stitches. So that was my row to come down this direction. Now I turn my work and I'm going to knit back. So I've gone down and back, and that creates 1 garter stitch ridge. I'll do a total of 6 garter stitch ridges, and then I'll work another short row. So that's this pattern, is to constantly be doing your long rows in between one short row, and that keeps the arc of the circle going nicely. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to try and hold it up. You can kind of tell where my short rows are because the garter stitch ridge is short. It doesn't come all the way over here, it stops right here. So I can kind of see right there's my short row. You can see where the short row is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I just finished working the short row, and now I have my first of the long rows. So let me do another long row. Slip as if to purl, bring your yarn in back, knit 9. This is a great project to take with you to a doctor's office. If you have to just wait someplace and you don't want to drag around a project that's got directions, it's just easy to grab and go. So I've knit 9. The 10th stitch I'm going to slip as if to purl. I'm going to go in to where my slipped stitches are. See the holes? That first stitch was the slip stitch. I'm going to go into the very next one that's empty, which is that one. I'll go under 2 threads of yarn, pull a stitch through, and then take the 10th stitch and cast it off. So that was my knitting down. Now I'm going to knit back and knit all the stitches, and then I will have completed another garter stitch ridge. I like to use variegated yarns on this pattern because I think it's such a simple, easy pattern that it really shows off beautiful yarn. You can certainly use solid colors, but for this project I just happen to just really love variegated colors. So now you can see I have a short row right there where my thumb is, and now I have 2 garter stitch ridges. And I'll continue doing the long rows until I have 6 garter stitch ridges, and then I'll work another short row. And that's because I'm on row or lane 6. There's lane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why I'm doing 6 long rows. Hope that makes sense. I hope I haven't confused you more. But it is a fun project. It looks really pretty. The back side even looks pretty, and maybe this is even the front and I don't know it. It has a little ridge going around it. It looks pretty. This is the particular yarn I'm using for this project. It's from Hobby Lobby. It's called Yarn Bee Glowing. And basically what I did was I just bought 1 skein of each of the different colorways, and I'm just using 1 skein until it runs out, and then I just tie on another skein. Here's one where I tied on. I just tied on the new skein and just started using the new color. So it's working out real great. It's a fun project. I'd highly recommend it. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comments below. Thanks for watching.